You're live.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Hi.
What's up, guys?
It's time for us to record a show, huh?
What's
Yes,
up,
it is.
Thunder Cunts? That's a sound check joke.
Oh, yes.
Which, if you want to know, sound check is already up.
Yep.
I always like whenever we are...
For the low price of $5 a month.
Whenever
It's
we're
worth
getting
it
ready
just
do
to
a
hear
show,
that story.
Sam's already playing around on his
shit.
phone. It's going great.
Apparently, Cheetos Minis came in stock and nobody told anyone.
Oh, yeah.
We're chasing an 8,000 case deficit, and no one said that $2,000 came in on the minis.
That would kind of help, wouldn't it?
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah, because pretty much everybody takes a case or two, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're half cases, so. But still, 2,000 cases, that's 1,000. That's now we only need $7,000.
Is there a 4 or 5er on a deal?
Oh, Smokey is in the audience tonight.
The Smoke Show.
Already posted a comment. Woo! I can get in on a live show.
The Smoke Show. What's up, buddy?
Way too excited.
All right.
Hold on, let's go tap my producer Mel here. Checking the chats and typing like it's my first day on a computer. Oh, I can't type that.
Because you've got a big, fat, fucked up finger.
Tried to cut it off. At least it's still there. It's my finger.
Finger. All right.
Sam got
Smokey
a little
says,
sweaty
I thought it was
when
thunder
she said
thighs.
that.
So are we ready to start a show here, Mel? Because I've only got so much juice in this iPad.
Okay, well, I'm waiting for you guys always.
Here, heard.
This is Alan with Tune Arm in Baltimore. A gooner and a toffee walk into a bar. Decided to do a shit football podcast. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
Hey, gotta give the boy a little credit. His team's actually meh, as opposed to awful.
Yeah, and that game, I almost clawed my eyes out watching the highlights of it. We'll come on to it, though.
Try watching it live like I was doing. It was no so fun. Let's start the show.
Yeah, let's do that.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smell the malort. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League. It's told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, fresh off his disciplinary hearing from the Southern Baltimore Youth Association,
Youth Soccer League.
one Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, good sir?
Free and clear of all charges.
Very good, very good. They went back, they looked at everything. It wasn't a justifiable send-off like in the case
They
of
said they
Jurgen
were,
Klopp.
they supported me and happy for my volunteering. And in 6 years, they've never had a complaint, and they're very happy with me.
Tell the truth? You shut off like the veneers, right? You did like Jurgen and start getting all charming afterwards, even though you were screaming in a reference.
I mean, I was charming. I'm always charming. That's why I won Best Host over you 2 years in a row.
I mean, that's really not a hard thing to win, you know?
Yeah, I know. When you're such a cunt. Yeah, I know.
And then how'd you do the next year?
Better than you still.
But not very good at all, because you sure as hell didn't fucking win it now, did you? We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Well, as Smokey's already done, you can jump in on this live stream or email dufootballshow@gmail.com or get in touch on any of the social medias at DU Football Show. Also, make sure you join the Drunkard United FC closed group on Facebook. That's where 99.999% of the bants happen, where we actually can interact with them. Here, we get a lot of comments in a live stream, and we talk during the show, and that's great and all. But the real bants, the fun bants that don't get us banned on YouTube happen in the closed Facebook group.
Satire.
So make sure you take care of that satire.
Well,
Hurry.
I don't know. I think you might need to start to read some of the documents that I've read.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you got $1 billion lawsuit coming your way. I don't know. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham, what are we drinking?
So we have something actually quite delightful. It is one of the rare releases from Balvenie. This is their 16-year-old French oak finished in Pinot casks. A vibrant single malt finished in a cask that previously held wine from the French Charente vineyards. Years of maturation in American oak brings an abundance of vanilla spice and warm honey notes, but then finishing in these Pinot casks creates notes of energizing grapefruit, geranium, glazed fruit, and ginger. And I would tend to agree with all of that.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It is delicious.
Unfortunately, Mel, you cannot have more of that.
Pinot de Charente is a fortified wine made from fresh, unfermented grape juice to which a cognac eau de vie is added and then matured in French oak casks. Produced from the sun-kissed grapes of Rolling Green vineyards, this rich, fruity wine is steeped in tradition and seldom found outside the region. Eager to see what rare flavors this fortified French wine could bring to the Balvenie malt master David Stewart, MBE, thank you very much, brought casks that had once held Pinot de Charente to the Balvenie distillery. Using the casks in the finishing process, he was able to craft this unique and rare expression, maturing for 16 years in traditional American oak whiskey barrels to develop distinct notes of warm honey and vanilla before finishing a finishing period in Pinot de Charente French oak casks brings velvety sweetness with notes of energizing grapefruit, geranium, glazed fruit, and ginger.
Right, you read that again because
that was on the front, but that was more in detail on the back, and then finished with the exact same fucking paragraph.
Very nice.
Fucking delicious.
It's excellent. This ran me what I tell you it was like $130. I think that's what it was. Retail. It is delicious, and our boys at Crab Cakes and Whiskey all help pay for it.
And
we'll be used it as the bottle for the meeting this weekend.
I'll be drinking it this weekend for the meeting.
Explains why I can't have more.
Pierre Ferrand makes a Pinot de Charente. They do that. It's basically it's a cognac version of port.
Yeah, it's not a snappy ginger either. You get very little bit of that bite, but you could definitely tell it's ginger. It's mostly fruit, and the big thing I get from it is apricot, like a baked apricot. Is that?
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just enjoying the fucking whiskey. It's really fucking good.
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Please remember to drink responsibly.
That's a fucking home run right there. My God, that is a delightful.
They usually
delightful
are
fucking whiskey.
They usually are, Balvenie.
Let's have a great show, everybody.
Let's do. Oh, I love that sound. Such a gorgeous sound.
Glencairn tap there. We do like the Glencairn tap. Better than a ball tap. Much better.
Yeah, or a ball tapping email.
I heard.
Not sent to me.
With their backs against the wall, the Reds needed a result, and they got it. And now City find themselves 4 points back of Arsenal, who got a win with technical difficulties. Liverpool 1, Man City 0, Arsenal 1, Leeds 0. Liverpool threw everything, literally everything they could at City, and they finally got a breakthrough, and they finally got a good result this season.
Yes. Excellent game. I mean, both goalkeepers were on it. Both teams were on it, really. There was a couple of mistakes here and there. Obviously, City had the goal disallowed for an Erling Haaland foul, which was legit, in my opinion. He definitely dragged Fabinho back. A lot of people in the groups that I text in during games and stuff were talking about the 50-50 with Allison and thinking that was the foul. I was like, there's no way.
Right. No.
That was the issue.
No,
it was the Fabinho about, what was it, 8 seconds prior, about 20 yards further up the pitch.
Yeah, great.
But it was an excellent game. Now, what I took from it, though, is Darwin Nunez is a fucking idiot. He has the footballing IQ of a doorknob, this guy.
Heard.
Twice he could have laid on goals. Once for, I always mix him up. It's the right-sided midfielder that had the terrible injury last season and couldn't play but plays a lot like Harvey Elliott from Leicester.
No, Harvey Elliott's the one you're talking about. Is the kid who started for Liverpool.
Oh, I'm talking about Harvey Barnes is who I was thinking
Right.
about for Leicester. Yeah, I always mix them up. Anyway, Harvey Elliott is this guy. Yeah. So he could have laid one on for Harvey Elliott, didn't. Mo Salah could have laid one on for Harvey Elliott, didn't. But then Mo Salah scored after he expertly rolled Diaz or Cancelo, whoever, in the middle of the field. Was fucking excellent. And the finish was brilliant. But he should have played in Harvey Elliott about 3 minutes or so prior to that, and Harvey Elliott had a tap in at best.
Outside of Bernardo Silva, who did the bit that we like to talk about with him, he does this every once in a while where you look at the screen and you never not see Bernardo Silva in your television screen,
right?
Because he's just
everywhere.
Outside of him, it felt like City never even got out of second gear.
Well, that's
they
it.
Just never really kind of they controlled and they were handling the ball, but they never seemed to really kind of be ruthless.
Yeah, and the City. I mean, the last bit of my notes here just said City carved a frustrated figure, and they did. I mean, they look at times they were almost petulant, the way they were going into tackles and little, kind of, niggling fouls and all that kind of stuff. Like it just they looked a bit off it, if you ask me.
It really did. It looked like Liverpool needed that game, and they played with desperation, which they needed to do. And even when they weren't necessarily clinically good, they played with a lot more heart than City did.
But City almost looked like they were owed it. They looked arrogant.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Yeah, and they got outworked. They got outclassed at the end of the day. I think it could have been 2 or 3. I think probably a fair scoreline would have been 3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah,
they had the chances for it. Yeah, they had the chances for it.
Do not disagree. Salah, there's been a lot of criticism to him so far this season. We've been to criticize him a lot. He deserves all the credit in the world. He hustled his ass off.
Well, and you look at the midweek as well, fastest hat trick in Champions League history, 6.5 minutes or whatever it was.
He was not going to not let this be a win. Liverpool was going to win, and he was going to score the game winner, and you knew it. You could sense it about him.
Oh yeah, and I know that it annoys you, but Anfield, I love old famous football grounds.
Yeah, of course.
That's part of the reason we chose Portsmouth to go see while we were there.
We want to go to Fratton Park.
Absolutely, it's an old famous ground, and they have plans obviously to build a new stadium, as do you. And both of the Merseyside stadiums are ones that I would like to see a game at before they go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Anfield was fucking electric.
Mm-hmm.
That atmosphere it didn't bring me to tears like the Brentford atmosphere did the first time they came back up, first game of last season, but it was close.
Yeah.
It was electric in that building.
Yep.
It was awesome.
The fans have had no reason to be behind their team this season. They were 100% behind them that day, and they needed them.
Awesome.
Yeah, they really needed them to be.
They cheered everything. They even jeered Pep when he tried to rile the crowd up, making fun of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was awesome. Now, the other thing I want to know is when are we going to put on the? I'm sorry, I put my hand over my mouth there for the visual audience. The Hannibal Lecter style mask over Klopp's face so he doesn't eat linesmen as they're running down the sideline.
Jesus Christ. I didn't.
What was that?
I didn't notice it in real time. I just, because I was kind of bouncing around.
Well, because the television cameras are on the ball, which is what you should be focused on.
And you go back and you see he is right in that guy's face. It looks like he honestly wants to bite his nose off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just.
As he's running past him. It's ridiculous. The other thing that another pundit brought up that I listened to this morning riding around for work on the radio said that City was in possession when the referee blew the whistle to come over and send Klopp off.
Yeah.
And they were teetering about 25, 30 yards out from goal.
Mm-hmm.
If I was City, I'd be a little incensed at that.
Yeah.
You can send the coach off whenever the fuck you want. Why are you stopping our attack to do so?
The next dead ball, you could turn around and go send him off.
Why are you doing that in the middle of our attack?
It was.
Now, granted, you don't know what's going to happen. Allison was excellent on the day. You know, could have maybe saved it as well if it even resulted into a shot.
Yeah.
Or what have you. But the point is we've got the ball. It's in play. You're worried about something that's happening off the field. Why are we stopping a fucking game right now?
Look, I'm just amazed he got sent off because normally he does not. Normally he gets away with that all the time, and it's considered it's just him. He's an energetic coach.
Did you watch his press conference afterwards?
No, I didn't.
Damn it, I didn't either.
I did not want to listen to his excuses.
They had on NBC Sports. They had a clip, and the title of the clip was Jurgen or Klopp. The reason I was sent off. And I didn't have a chance to listen to it today. I really wanted to. But you should definitely probably check that out because I'm sure it's, it's Halloween.
Some things as an Evertonian, it's just no.
It's Halloween.
No, I don't want to subject myself to that.
It could have been. What was the headless horseman's name? Icarus, right? Mel?
Yes.
He ain't going to know.
Ichabod Crane.
Ichabod. Could have been Ichabod Crane this time.
Oh, wait, no, Ichabod Crane was the guy. Headless Horseman was just Headless Horseman.
Icarus is the one who flew too close to the sun,
Yeah.
Sam.
Well, it could have been any of them cunts.
You're right. I don't know anything.
That's what I'm saying. It could have been any of them.
You're that right there. That right there. D-back bear. That's what you are. D-back bear.
I really wanted to hear the excuse, but I got busy at work.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into.
I'm trying to find it if you want me to play it.
We could probably get sued for that, could we?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. And besides, like I said, Mel, as I've already said, I didn't want to see it. So what makes you think I want to hear it live on my fucking show?
Your fucking show.
It's our fucking show. Shut the fuck up.
2/3 of us want to hear it, Sam.
It's fine.
Don't play it. We can get sued. That's the reason. I don't care about your fucking feelings. Email the league if you have a problem, okay?
Now I'm going to try to do the bit that I was setting you up for, you fucking asshole.
Sorry.
Let's go ahead and talk about Arsenal Leeds.
Oh, good. VAR just kicked in. We're ready.
There we go. Now we can start the game after 30 minutes. Mel was looking very confused.
I was panicking. I'm like, what cue did I miss? What button didn't I press? I'm looking at the board. You had me all like, where did I fuck up? And I had nothing to do with any of it.
No.
So we talked about this earlier today.
I'm gonna bite your ear off and clop you.
Oh, fine, please. Just, dear sweet Jesus.
Yeah. Put the lotion in the basket. So weird start, obviously. We played, a minute and 15 seconds or something?
And then the can't work, and VAR can't
communication to Stotley Park was out.
Hey, you up? What you up to?
Yeah, what you wearing?
Sup?
You have underwear on?
Let's talk about them draws.
Your legs look really good while you're running around out there.
Can't talk to the.
Couldn't talk to VAR.
Field.
Goal line technology wasn't working.
Oh my God! Everything was fucking broken.
It was all done. So when they came back out 37 minutes later.
Okay, have we ruled out that it was not Leeds supporters like fucking cutting all the wires on the truck and shit?
We have not. I do blame it on Ellen Road. I do blame it on Ellen Road being ancient, but that's fine. It was it was a weird start to the game, obviously. First half, I thought when it finally did get really going that it was actually fairly even. Arsenal had some chances. Meslier did well. Leeds had some chances. Ramsdale did well. I thought that was all fine and dandy. The second half, though, I'm sorry. I should be remiss if I didn't say, great goal from Bukayo Saka. Surprised even me. I mean, it was phenomenal. I didn't think he was going to get to the ball, let alone with his off foot put in the roof of the net. That was a fantastic goal by him.
Great goal.
Perfectly weighted ball, which I thought might have been over hit, but ended up being just fine from Odegaard. And then the second half happens, and it is probably about 73% Leeds in that second half. They had chance after chance. Ramsdale was good. The defense was good, repelled a lot of stuff, blocked a lot of stuff, so it didn't even get to Ramsdale.
Got chippy, too.
Got very quite chippy. The penalty was given away by Saliba. I don't think he meant to do it. But he definitely gained an advantage from it hitting his arm. It's a penalty. That's
the motion
how
of
it
the
works.
arm in the box.
He was turning. It's unfortunate. Shit happens sometimes. That's how it goes. But Patrick Bamford's played 6 times in the last year and a half. So not really up to speed. Can't hit from 12 yards. Can't even hit the target from 12 yards, let alone have Ramsdale save it. Put it well wide. And then
what the fuck happened at the end?
So I understand what happened, and Leeds fans, Lars, Gex, may be incensed about this. But to the letter of the law, the right decision was reached. VAR actually worked for a change. Patrick Bamford, in an innocuous situation, Ramsdale had the ball about 12 yards away from him, dribbling away from him to clear the ball. Gabriel, protecting his goalkeeper, saw Bamford jogging in, kind of just gets in his way, stands his ground. Bamford, those last 2 steps, seeing Gabriel step in front of him, sped up, hit him in the back, just barged into the back of him. Gabriel goes down. Was it soft? Probably. On the ground, Gabriel, annoyed, as he's rolling, kicks out at Bamford. Initially, referee gives a red card, blows for a penalty for a foul inside the penalty area. Then VAR gets called. And I believe they got it right. It was a foul on Bamford, therefore the play is over.
Right. The red card and the kickback does not happen if
Bamford doesn't do what he did.
Foul him.
Correct.
It's that simple.
So,
was that simple?
The lash out, he ended up being downgraded to a yellow card for. Now, that also still insinuates that there was a foul in the box.
Right.
But because of the initial foul that Bamford had, the whistle would have been blown then and there.
Right.
So there is no penalty because of that.
Right, because the foul
happened first. It was the same issue that happened to Virgil van Dijk. The foul happened on Pickford when he clattered into Van Dijk was after the referee had already flagged for offside. So that foul doesn't exist. There's no penalty.
Lars, Geckel, whenever you want to come over to my side, I've got all the documents. We'll go ahead and we'll sue Graham for $1 billion. We'll get it.
All right. By that thing, you should have had a penalty called against Jordan Pickford that day then.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough.
Okay. Exactly. So the documents rest with me. Insane, right? All that happens. And then there's 6 minutes of added time. And I got up about maybe a half hour before this game, and I was hanging out with the baby on the bed. Carly's bouncing around the bedroom, and we're just chilling, and then I run downstairs, forgot to take my blood pressure medicine.
Ah, good boy.
Before this match. Should have taken my blood pressure medicine before this game. It was quite nervy.
Learning life in the 30s there, huh, Stud?
It felt like we escaped with it. I feel like a draw probably would have been a fair, quote-unquote, result, but we escaped with a win. I'll take it. Top of the league, and Liverpool did us a fucking solid later on that afternoon.
Yeah, now
and
4-point lead.
4-point lead. I'm not quite to the point where I believe yet. I think we need a 7 or a 10-point lead before we do. I don't think City's going to drop that many points.
Nope.
I also think we're going to end up losing our 4-point lead to 2 games against Manchester City, and we'll end up losing the league by 2 points because we're going to win every other game available to us.
Okay, fair enough.
That's not true either, but
gonna fuck that
do you see
off.
what I'm saying? We're not coming in first is my point.
Right, yeah.
I'm not buying into it just yet. I'm buying into the process. I'm buying into we're better than we were. I'm buying into all that stuff. I don't think this is the year just yet.
It was great seeing all the pictures of Simon and the rest of the Charm City Gooners up there. And our boy Miguel and his girl Jocelyn were there the day before.
Yep.
So Jocelyn's Everton and Miguel is
Arsenal.
But he wore blue on Saturday and she wore red on Sunday.
Yeah, and it's lucky too that our clubs have no particular animosity.
Right. It was fun hanging out with everybody on Saturday. But I was wondering I'll anxiously await to hear from Simon how that all went down when the rest of the broadcast just kept going. It was like no one even mentioned your match at all. It was just like had a 30-minute delay, and then no one really talked about it. And it was like, okay, well now it's City and it's City and Liverpool. Woohoo! Like just very, very interesting. So I wonder how it was there live. Like, was there at least like one screen that was showing the match? And I wonder if it was the one that was like in the courtyard away from the fucking stage
Right, yeah.
to keep the Arsenal fans quiet. So it was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But, yeah, Mr. Graham.
But all in all, good game, and we're still top of the league.
Yeah, and VAR helping you win the title. It's going to be great.
Poured 2 glasses of whiskey there.
There we go. The race for Europe is starting to take shape, and it's got a lot of new faces. Newcastle 0, Manchester United 0, Chelsea 2, Villa 0, Brentford 2, Brighton 0. And all those teams but Villa right in the fucking hunt, 4th through 8th place right now.
Oh, we're in the hunt. We're just in the hunt for relegation zone.
In a hunt for a new manager soon.
Yep, for sure.
Pardon me. Magpies go toe-to-toe with Man U, man. I mean, it wasn't a pretty game, but they went toe-to-toe
It wasn't
with
a pretty game. For 76 minutes, this game was entirely pointless.
Don't disagree.
It was bad. Joe Linton put 2 headers off the bar, one off the bar, one off the post, respectfully. And then Anthony forced Nick Pope into the save, and then the first half seemed to peter out.
Yep.
After it petered in. It was bad. The game somewhat came to life for a bit. There was a couple of weird bits of controversy. Ultimately, the game never made it out of second gear, just in general. Manchester United had a great chance on the 87th minute and then again in stoppage time.
No, Fred, he should have had that.
87th minute one fell to Fred, which is not who you wanted to fall to. The stoppage time was Rashford and a free header.
That's right.
And it was actually harder, in my opinion, to do what he did than actually score the goal.
And I'm sure Ronaldo, who got subbed out, is sitting there just going,
I'd have put that in.
I'm kind of known for heading the ball well. Think I might have scored that one. Just saying. But
yeah, I didn't watch this game live, and I'm glad I didn't watch this game live. It was fucking abysmal from the highlight package.
It was the game on Goal Zone, so I had Goal Zone running, and that was the match running, and then they would cut in with goals from the other matches, and it was fucking abysmal. Well, it was horrible.
Most of the extended highlight packages are, if it's a good game, be about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If it's a bad game, be about 8, and a minute and a half of that 8 is explaining the team sheets.
Yes, exactly.
Most of this week's highlight packages were right around 10 to 11 and a half minutes.
Oh, it was a bad week.
It was not a good week of football.
There's a reason why all of Saturday is an oh so that happened.
Yeah,
because I was there in Philly, and it was a fucking dog. It was a fucking dog.
Struggling to bring the funny today.
But
if you really want the funny, sign up on Patreon so you can get sound check. That's fucking hysterical.
CR7 and Casemiro now finally in the starting lineup again. You could tell Ten Hag doesn't want to do it, but Ten Hag's going to have to do it.
I think so as well. Casemiro looks older than he did at Madrid, and I don't know if it's the speed of the Premier League and him trying to catch up and figure it out, or if it's he actually is that old now. Because he is, 35, 36? Something like that?
Yeah.
33, something. And for somebody that puts their body about like he does, he could have a little extra mileage on the clock.
Well, the other thing with Casemiro, too, is he always just got shooed away with the scotch because I'm going to drink it all. If you do not take this scotch away from me, I'm going to drink the whole fucking bottle.
And I would, because that's delicious.
It's really fucking good. Casemiro, when he was with Real Madrid, tended to play on the outside of the midfield 3 a lot, He did more of a box-to-box situation because they played that kind of triangle midfield 3, but he can slot in as a defensive midfielder and is very good in that position. Yeah.
But he tended to do a lot of the box-to-box stuff, and then Luka Modric was more the attacking midfielder.
But you could tell that it's probably a little past his time, but also who's going to do it if Eriksen's not healthy, which he's not currently. Who's going to fucking do it? And you can't ask Eriksen to do it every week in and out because man's got a bad fucking ticker.
Let's just get him some brains.
Heard brains? Brains? I'll tell you what, Villa was the better fucking side.
How can you argue with that sweet Tyrone Mings assist?
That was, man.
I mean, it's not
what
like
a fucking
he's known
assist.
for headers, clearing the ball with his head. It's not like that's his thing or anything. Come on now.
That was what a pass. Mason Mount couldn't believe his luck.
Picture perfect pass to Mason Mount. Problem? Mount not on his team.
What a finish, though. It was excellent. He took it well. You know.
But after that, one off the crossbar, two off the pipe. Kepa the keeper finally becoming Kepa the keeper, like
again,
some brilliant fucking.
I mean,
no, Ings was midair going, "This fucking thing's a goal,"
and he's diving backwards and just swipes his hand out of the way. Whoop, whoop, nope, where the fuck that go? Like gone, just gone.
So my second sentence, though, on my notes was Villa didn't let that deter them. They had a plethora of chances.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Villa didn't play particularly poorly in this game.
Villa played well. They were the better fucking side. They were.
I understand, right? People say, oh, well, you got to take the mistakes into account when you're talking about the overall performance. I understand that. But if you take out that one rogue header, I mean, how many headers did Tyrone Mings have a game? 15?
Yeah.
18? Yeah. And 17 of them go the right direction?
How many more did he have the rest of that game?
That's what I'm saying.
And if you slow it down, like I make jokes, but you slowed it down, that ball had a spin on it.
Had movement. Yeah.
And there was wind.
All right, Jurgen. Careful.
Producer Klopp over here.
Clippity clop, clippity clop. I hear the excuses coming. But my point is that those little mistakes that directly lead to goals, you can't account for that in a team talk.
Shit
you can't
happens.
You can't account for that in a game plan. That's just, it's not like Villa were outplayed. Villa held their own in this game.
And Chelsea should have been playing with 10 men at the end of the first half.
Oh, yeah.
Don't disagree with you there.
I don't.
Holy moly.
Now, I get it. Chilwell's heel was on the ground, but the spikes it was flat. Just the
full
foot was
studs.
straight up,
He was
right into the ankle.
2
And it was
feet
like
from the ball. He had no chance of getting the ball. He had to know he wasn't getting the ball.
I gotta assume it's because
I tend to agree with that.
I'm assuming because the heel was on the ground is why it was not a red card. That's all I can assume it was. Because if the leg was lifted at all in any other match, a foot like that lifted off the ground is a red card. And the only thing I could think that doesn't make it a red card is the fact that the heel was down. And personally, that was a fucking red card.
Although
a red card.
I can't blame the game on that because we've played with the other team having one man down before, and that hasn't given us an advantage. And we certainly had enough chances that we should have completed. It's just Villa's able to... Yeah.
We
I'm out of
gotta
words.
say it. Yeah, go ahead. Have some Malort, Mel.
Cheers up the Villa. I know they can get it up, but can you finish the job, please?
Maybe if they played at the Brazzer Stadium.
Gerard. This has got to be it, right?
It's getting close.
One
I
or
think.
two more results, I think it's over for him. Right?
It's getting close. Now the performances are better than they were earlier in the season. That's the thing that's buying him time at the moment. Yeah,
team's playing well. The team's
Absolutely.
playing poorly. They're just not getting fucking results.
Yeah.
Every rumor, everything is saying Gerard's done. There was like 3 fake reports out today saying he's been fired. Nope, that was a fake report. I have sources that said.
Well, there's
so
3.
tired of
The other thing is there's what was I going to say?
I don't know.
There was 3 people that I saw. One was Fabrizio Romano on Twitter, who is like Ornstein in a lot of ways. They don't say shit that isn't real.
Yeah, if
That
he's
said that
saying it, it's probably fucking happening.
He's on thin ice, but things are looking more positive now. I believe that was him that I read that from.
More positive towards him firing or more positive towards him not firing?
Not fired.
Okay.
Because of these last couple of performances. The team are playing well. It's just getting that finishing touch. Just getting them over the line to actually get those goals and do that. And I apologize if it wasn't him, but I believe I saw that on Twitter from either him or Ornstein or somebody. Ornstein usually only comments on Arsenal, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Steven Gerrard was on thin ice, still kind of is on thin ice, but I think he's the performances are buying him a little bit of time, kind of game to game.
But also with the amount of people that have been cut loose already this season, who the fuck you finding?
Well, that's just the thing, right?
Graham Potter? Oh, wait, no.
Speaking of, are we on him yet?
Yeah, we are. We're talking about Chelsea beating Villa.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot he's not Brighton manager
No,
anymore.
Tuchel's not there anymore.
So he said he had a, don't do that. He said that he had recently, people around him have said that he's had a glow up. Did you see this?
Yes, I did see this.
He even had a haircut from what he said was a guy that cuts the lad's hair. So he had a haircut from like one of the essentially celebrity barbers.
Right.
And all he had to say about it was, it's a nice haircut, but it cost me a lot more than I expected. And he was like, I had a glow up. I don't even know what a glow up is, but people have told me I've had one.
Second goal from Mason Mount. The free kick was fucking brilliant. That's,
spectacular.
Two from him now. That is huge for Chelsea.
It's huge for him personally.
I mean, Chelsea.
He hadn't scored yet this season, I don't think.
But Chelsea's success really relies on guys like him really getting it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they're going to be important in the transition of this team because they're always going to be a buying club. They're always going to buy the bits and pieces that they need. But you always need that Frank Lampard, John Terry, that kind of
spine,
right? You know, and while they came from other clubs, while those two did come from other clubs, they were young when they came to Chelsea, and they were at Chelsea for such a long period of time. Like, you need that Mason Mount type to kind of be the steady Eddie in the middle of the pitch, the one that kind of helps them get it done. And they're going to need that moving forward because there's going to be a lot of changes at that club every single season because it's how that club does business.
Well, if you look at Graham Potter's time at Brighton, another thing I heard today on the radio that I didn't really even think about was he loves a versatile midfielder. Mm-hmm. And think of Pascal Gross. Think of, sadly, Mwepu before he had to hang his boots up. He played on the wing a couple times, played in the middle a couple times. Same thing, Lamptey converted from a right winger to a right wing back. Mm-hmm. Like, he loves a versatile player. Right. Mason Mount, as long as Graham Potter's in charge, will be one of the first names on the team sheet, I think.
He's going to move him around, put him all over the place because he can do all
Ruben
kinds of
Loftus-Cheek, who's played a lot more under Graham Potter so far than he did under any previous Chelsea manager. I think he's going to love life.
Yeah,
because he could play as a number 10. He can play as a left wing. He can play as a right wing. He can do all of those things. So if Sterling's not hitting, or if Pulisic's not hitting, if Mason Mount's not hitting, or whatever, all these players can interchange. They have that's where their depth is in those kind of front six,
right? That
you will.
You can change the formation with only adding one player and completely moving people around and putting a Mount against the left back's having a really hard time. Put Mount against him, have him go at him, have Loftus-Cheek go up the middle. Like, you can always tinker with that,
exactly.
which is the big play there.
100%. Unfortunate for Reece James.
Yes, very.
Picking up that injury. Looks like he's going to be about 8 weeks or so. Mm-hmm. Possibly missing the World Cup.
There's going to be
not
another
great
one
news for England.
Another one we're going to talk about later on for Brazil that just lost a key player as well. Mm-hmm. On to Brentford and Brighton. First, I want to say bumped into Paul at FanFest on Saturday.
That's awesome.
He brought his best wishes to Mwepu sign that he got up right behind Rebecca Lowe when she was walking through the crowd right in front of us.
Awesome,
which was nice, and he had his blue and white wig and everything. It was great. So, big shout out to that whole thing. I sent you guys a message. I saw no less than at least 6 jerseys of every single Premier League club.
That's awesome.
There was at least 6 at least 6 Brentford supporters, at least 6 Forest supporters, at least 6 Bournemouth supporters. There were a ton, everything there, and a fuck ton of championship jerseys too. I gave you the whole list. I mean, it was like half the fucking championship was there.
That's good.
I saw 3 Cardiff jerseys. Why did I see 3 Cardiff jerseys?
Because of Neil Warnock.
Yes,
that's why. Definitely. It has to be because of Neil Warnock.
So sorry,
I made such a good point. It left you speechless, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Ivan Toney with the brace. Brentford now find themselves right in the hunt for those European spots. They're right there in 8th place. But here's the funny thing. Other than the goal, other than the scoreline, this game in the numbers was dominated by Brighton. Possession, shots on goal, overall shots. I mean, this was all Brighton, but
Exactly.
Brentford figured out the way to get the W.
So this is one of the other shows we like to listen to a lot. Jules Breach was on, massive Brighton supporter. She was hosting that show today. And as I was driving listening to it, she said, I know it may kind of sound a little like me from a year ago, but we played really, really well, but couldn't score.
Yeah.
Now, that wasn't necessarily on the Brighton players. They had chances, and they had chances on target. What's his name? David Raya had a fucking blinder.
Yeah.
Played a blinder. Made 3 or 4 fantastic saves, and then another 3 or 4 decent saves.
Yeah.
You know, that saves he should be making that he did make. And then 3 or 4 that were fantastic saves. That were great saves.
Probably should have been 2-2. It really should have been.
Yeah.
Brighton played well enough to
I'd probably give you that. That's probably fair.
They played well enough to deserve a point, but, you know.
But also, Ivan Toney's doing it all.
But and again, why should you have Ivan Toney on the England national squad? Because nobody takes a fucking penalty kick better than him.
No. 20 for 20.
Tell me someone right now who could take a penalty kick better than him.
Jorginho
has been saved.
I'm joking. No, he's excellent. 20 for 20 in his career. Never taken one at international level, obviously. Kane's missed a few. Few people have missed a few. Really, my opinion, you take him because of that. I like his hold-up play. I think it's excellent. And the improvised finish. I mean, just the goal was fantastic. Ball came into him hot, inside of the right boot, behind his left leg, around the goalkeeper. I mean, one touch. Fantastic finish.
So
you can't fucking beat that. He's got to be on that plane for me.
What do you think?
Calvert-Lewin hasn't played enough football.
No, has not.
Look at the other English forwards. Callum Wilson, can't trust him to stay fit.
Ollie Watkins is on a drought of all droughts right now.
Right. Danny Ings, can't trust him to stay fit. Also on a pretty decent drought.
Ivan Toney would be my backup.
Ivan Toney is excellent and should be there.
I think he would be my...
And then, past that backup plan, I would think about a formation change and maybe doing a Sterling as a false 9 or a Saka as a false 9.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. But I would have Kane starting, Ivan Toney off the bench as an impact.
Yep, that's what I would do too.
We're about to go to penalties, bring him on for Maguire.
Yeah, we need him
because
on,
now with the defensive issues, Harry Maguire looks set to start in the World Cup again. Fuck off.
Fucking incredible.
Now, Ben White has been talked about as being mentioned in England, and I think he's got a right to expect that. He's played at right back most of the season, started as a center back, played all last season as a center back, did diligent work in both positions. With Reece James gone, he can play in a 3, he can play in a 4. With Reece James potentially hurt, with Kieran Trippier a little older, but he'll probably start. But Ben White should be there, in my opinion.
A perfectly good end to a segment that he had to shoehorn in a pro Arsenal agenda. Fucked it all right off. Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Leicester 0, Palace 0, Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2, Wolverhampton 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Tottenham 2, Everton 0, Southampton 1, West Ham 1. Foxes get a point, Foxes get a shutout. I was a little taken back by the commentary of the desk when I was there in Philly about how Palace is there for the taking and you need to beat Palace and you're a better team than Palace. I'm like, right now, scoreboard would say otherwise. Otherwise, Palace should have played better and Palace should have taken advantage of that opportunity.
Yes, especially with such an inept goalkeeper in. I saw in the Premier League app as I was looking up the stats while I was beginning to write my notes for this game, as I do for every game that I write notes for.
Did it say Dougie gonna Doug?
No, it said fucking Danny Ward, old Dougie, got man of the match. He made 1 save. Palace had 8 shots, only 1 on target. He made 1 save. It was a good save.
Yeah.
It was through legs. He saw it late. Okay, fine. But he watched 7 balls.
Yeah. Just
steer clear of his goal better than anyone else on the field.
Right. And
because Guaita, if you really want to talk about the man of the match, Guaita made 6 saves.
Right. Actually made saves.
They were fucking fantastic, too. We got it intercepted a few crosses as well, had some punches. Guaita deserved man of the match for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know why they gave it to Danny Ward, and that's really my takeaway from this entire game because everything else was bullshit.
Yeah, the only thing worth mentioning about this match ultimately is that Palace now has a fairly easy run. It's like they just played Leicester. They played
really,
Wolves.
this should have started this
Right.
easy run.
They got Wolves next. Then I think it's like they got Forest. They got Bournemouth. So it's like for Palace, where we were talking about when's Palace going to kickstart and shoot up the table. These next 5 matches right before we go to the World Cup break is really going to be. We're going to find out.
It's going to be huge.
We're going to find out if Palace is that team that wants to be in the top 10 or not. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Cherries lose the lead twice, and they shouldn't have. And funny enough, Fulham get a penalty called for them the way it was called against them the week before.
So this I thought was a pretty even game in everything except possession. Fulham had nearly 70% of the ball in this game. Mm-hmm. So you say Bournemouth gave up the lead twice. I don't think they should have had the lead to begin with.
Yeah.
It was that chance came at Solanke very quick in the first minute and 5th second. Mm-hmm. He did very well to steer that past the goalkeeper, in my opinion. Replay that 100 times, he misses 98 of them.
Yeah, Solanke's starting to get it together. Goal and assist here, goal last week.
I'm just saying the speed at which the chance came to him, right?
Yeah.
That 1-2. Now, it was a 1-2, so he was kind of expecting it to come back his direction. However, he hit it with some ferocity, that ball, that cross, cutback, rather. And he did well, I think, to get his foot to it and put it on target. And it ended up scoring, beat Bird Leno.
Yep.
It was a good chance. But Fulham having so much of the ball, and they just did nothing with it. Out of there, I think it was 19 shots. They only had 4 on target. Bournemouth outshot them on target 6-4.
Yeah.
So it's like you had the possession, and all season you've actually been scoring goals. You've actually been creating real chances. What happened here that you couldn't put stuff on frame? I'd be a little concerned with how much of the ball they had and how little they actually did with it.
Yeah, agreed. Very much
Despite scoring 2 goals. I mean, that's it, right? They still scored 2 goals, so how can you really be mad? But it's like, one was a penalty.
But then for the Cherries, still ain't lost since you got rid of Parker.
No, absolutely. Exactly.
Like, it's another point. Like, I mean, it just, if you're going to stay up, you're doing everything you need to be doing right now. Now, it doesn't mean that the season won't catch up to you and you'll start to fall behind, but you know what? Right now, in this moment, you are doing exactly what the fuck you need to do.
Well, and Jefferson Lerma doing exactly what we expect from him.
Yes.
Got a goal. For once, it wasn't an own goal against Arsenal. Still a very well-taken goal. But then, and he's got it in him, the idiotic rugby tackle in the box. Wasn't even looking at the ball or where it was coming from.
Nope.
And just tackled Mitro, which I guess if you really want to give him something, throw him a bone, he tackled Mitro. That's an achievement.
Yeah, Mitro, big fucker.
Hard to take down.
Although
the big Serb.
Mitro was also kind of grabbing him by the arms and going, "Here, fall on me, fall on me." But
yeah, and then Mitro, great pen to close out the scoring.
Wolves finally get a win. Took a penalty.
This was the other fucking game this weekend that I was like, why does this exist?
Dude, Saturday.
Just do a coin toss. This is one of those games on FIFA where I'd hit the simulation button. I don't even want to play it.
Saturday started with Leicester Palace 0-0. Then you had Fulham Bournemouth on one side of the screens, and this on the other side. And neither were particularly entertaining. And then the final match was Everton Tottenham, and that wasn't entertaining.
Did everybody go for
was a shit day of footy.
Did everybody go for a pint?
No. People everybody was standing there watching, and I'm like, I went and sat down for a little while and relaxed and chatted with a few people, but it was.
Do you want to know what my notes say?
Please.
Literally 3 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe this was a thing. Is this first sentence? It made me think of the Billy Madison speech. Was the second sentence.
Uh-huh.
The third sentence, I just quoted the Billy Madison speech. I said, I am dumber for having watched this game.
Well,
It
pretty
was
simple.
fucking dreadful.
Wolves made a penalty, went up 1-0. Then fucking Forest can't score their penalty. And then they can't.
Fucking grim.
Forest is getting, in that match, Forest got opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. It just, and as I'm watching it, like you hear people do the, I'm just like, no, you do the missed thing. Like, as the shot's coming, I'm like, they're going to fuck it off. Like, I'm already ready for
We've
them
already
to fuck
read
it
this
off.
book. Yeah. What?
I don't know what I'm getting excited for. We all know how this is going to go right now. They can't finish.
Exactly.
Unless it goes off a knee, then that's it. It's the only way it's going in. Otherwise, Now, and I will say the following, because it was kind of cool that both the Mitro penalty and the Wolves penalty were basically at the same time. Right. And I did just go, when we're sitting there, I'm like, Mitro scores his, and I turn over and I go, Dino's going to save this one.
Yeah.
Almost did. He
So-
almost fucking did.
We've already given the game way too much attention.
Yes,
first
we're going to
off.
move on to the next one.
But what we need to give attention to is the Fulhamish way in which Nottingham Forest deleted their pre-match tweet,
Oh, yes, I saw that one.
and the pettiness with which Wolves responded post-match
It was pretty brilliant.
to the tweet. So the first one that Nottingham Forest did was
I saw it. I loved this.
was it
Brennan Johnson.
Brennan Johnson, right?
Yeah, playing with little wolf
playing
pups.
with baby wolf pups. It was obviously photoshopped.
Just so cute, little wolves.
Yeah, just playing there, and it says it's playtime.
Yeah, it's playtime.
Dem's fighting words. Then they went, oh fuck,
We lost.
probably shouldn't do that. The whole league is built on narrative, and we just added narrative to our game.
Yes.
Delete tweet. Apparently, someone in the Wolves dressing room, I think it was Ruben Neves, screenshotted it and used it as motivation, Mikel Arteta style, in the dressing room. The Wolves social media team catches a glimpse of it. After the game, they Photoshop a tree
Stump.
stump,
Yeah.
a stump with an axe in it that said "Playtime is over."
It was fucking great.
This is two bald men fighting over a comb. Both of you suck dick. You're terrible football teams.
But the meme
Fuck
game
off.
was strong.
It's ridiculous. Why are you getting involved? Just play the game.
As-
And you didn't even play the game. It was pitiful. It was terrible. I'm more mad about this than I am about my kids on Saturday.
Heard. Very good.
You want the rest of that story? Patreon.com/DU Football Show.
All right,
It's on
I'm gonna
sound
go
check.
ahead and start pouring my shot on Malort here.
I just couldn't believe it. It's like, don't y'all have anything better? I understand everybody has a job.
Yeah, I
But,
wrote
come on.
4 words for Tottenham and Everton, and I think that these 4 words say it perfectly, Mr. Graham.
Okay.
Most English match ever. Kind of nothing in the first half. Couple of chances for the away side. Nothing really happening. Second half, misfortunate penalty. Kind of timely. Could have not been called. Could have been called. Didn't really matter. It was a penalty anyways. The hero that always scores for Spurs scores. Everton pushes later. They get beat on the counter. Lose 2-0.
You all had a ton
it's-
of chances.
It's the most English game I've ever watched in my life. I was
Yeah.
like, well, when people want to talk about the English Premier League, there it is. Right?
Well, right, yeah, from 1987
That
through
is-
1995.
It's in all its glory.
If you and there's the thing, right? Because the 2 best chances that your team had was Onana, what's my name?
Yep.
And Damari Gray, and somehow that perfect carpet of a Spurs pitch made the ball bobble.
Yep.
Like it was a potato patch, and they got underneath of it and blazed into Rosette.
They didn't get a shot on target till the end of the match.
But y'all were pushing.
Y'all
were pushing.
While we were all there watching the game, there was definitely multiple people around me that I could hear going, oh, na, 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 what's my name?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so that
Yes, it's catching on.
It's catching on.
It's
definitely
catching on. That's
it
what
was definitely you, the person none of them ever met that got them into it. I'm sure that's the case.
Maybe they have Samsung Music.
Oh, there we go. Exactly. That's exactly it. And in traditional fashion, you did not hear the Spurs fans at all at FanFest until they finally scored. And then suddenly it's when the Spurs go marching in like crazy. I do not,
because they're potatoes.
I cannot say anything on how Sunday was. I was not there. So I'm not even going to attempt. And I guarantee you, your fucking lunatic fans were fucking proper and fucking insane.
Ian Wright was there. Of course they were. Simon and Mike both met him.
I saw.
And I commented on Simon's. I was like, fucking FaceTime and go find him again. It's still halftime. Help, help, help.
There was a bunch of people.
He did not.
Carlton Cole was there on Sunday for Iron supporters. And
he has one of the lamest songs.
But Graham.
You've got the power to know.
Graham Stewart.
What you need is Carlton Cole.
Graham Stewart was there for Everton. Now the key here's
Stewart's a good one.
Here's the big one though. Ultimately, I can say this definitively on Saturday. The Toffees were the fucking loudest motherfuckers in the building.
Yeah, good.
Really singing loud. I fucking loved it. I was singing right along with them, doing Grand Old Team and Spirit of the Blues and doing chants. And
that's awesome.
We were right proper fucking loud. I was very, very, very proud of my fellow Evertonians to be out there hanging out with them all. Would have liked to seen a win. Not the end of the world. Again, like I told you, these last 2 weeks aren't really the ones I care about. What I care about now is how do we show up at St. James Park on Wednesday. That's a big one,
Yep.
How do we show up against Palace over the weekend? That's the shit that's important. That's what's important.
Could be.
Know? Oh,
I still haven't figured out why I'm not playing midweek.
It's because it was your City game. You were supposed to play City, and you have your makeup game for Europa.
Oh, that's right, because of the Queen's death. Yeah.
All right, so...
all right, good. There we go.
Yeah,
Problem solved.
Up the Toffees.
I know somebody that would be saying that.
And a little bittersweet, unfortunately. Worth mentioning, Richarlison goes off in the first half with an injury, has already been ruled out for the World Cup. And they had said...
Oh, has he? I haven't heard that update.
And it was also being... During the match there, they were even saying that Brazil had already said the number 9 was going to be Richarlison.
Yeah. Apparently, for some reason, one ruled out goal in the league and one Champions League goal is better than Gabriel Jesus's. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not here just, harping on my guy and not the Spurs guy. I'm just looking at the facts. So I'm saying the documents, Sam. The documents.
I would say the guy that was directly involved in them getting an Olympic gold, directly involved in them raising multiple gold cups.
Was Neymar.
No. Was fucking...
I'm joking.
Was fucking Richarlison. I don't want to go be here being a Spurs apologist, but
he dove so well they won a gold medal. Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate because Richie's one of those types who plays no matter what and constantly.
Yeah.
In
all seriousness, yes.
Every single summer goes home and plays when a lot of those other big time starlets in fucking Brazil, they're too good to do that shit. And he would go back and play every fucking friendly and every shitty match, and that's why honestly he would been put up top, is because he's the one who fucking puts in the time and does it. And all things being equal between all those guys, because frankly they're all kind of interchangeable. They're all decent enough players. None of them are superstars. They're all good. They're all really good. But none of them are fucking Erling Haaland, right?
Well, the superstars are cunts. Neymar's a cunt.
Right.
We can all agree Neymar's a fucking cunt.
Oh, God, yeah.
So you got somebody that works hard at Gabriel Jesus that is used improperly more often than not.
Yeah.
Right? You have Richarlison, who is versatile, doesn't get enough goals. In general, doesn't get enough goals.
Yeah.
There's flaws in those people that do work hard.
Right.
Right? It's sad, and I do feel bad for him. In all honesty, obviously I got to try to find the funny, and he's a Spurs player.
Yeah, got to fuck with him on that.
But you never want to see somebody get injured. I never want somebody to look at me and go, "We had to play 7 youth players. That's why you won this game."
Yeah.
I want to beat you. This is the competition. That's the point.
Which during COVID, that got said a few times.
100%. Which is why I'd never want to see a player get injured, honestly. All jokes aside, all biases aside. It's a very sad time for him. He is a good player. I do think he's a good player.
All right, so the big question, Mel, did Smokey stay with us all the way to the bitter end?
Or has anyone else talked to us at all?
For his match.
Oh, yeah. You've got Smokey earlier said no clock for the West Ham match, plus up to 8 players out for Liverpool. Chance for West Ham.
It's not an impossibility.
West Ham's got to get out their own way, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Right, exactly.
Christian, we are quarter of the season done, still plenty of time, and they still say in the Prem, but Palace just can't get it done.
They have been having a hard time. It's like I said, I think we're going to learn a lot about Palace
in the next 5 games.
Yeah, a lot
for a team like Palace.
It's everybody around
right
them
around them, exactly. You got to beat the teams around you. And Arsenal have done that.
Yeah.
Palace have not.
Yep.
And yes, Smokey just let us know he is here waiting and watching.
Saints have less possession, but they have double the amount of shots on target. Is that the most Moisey thing Moise could ever fucking do? Dominate possession.
David Moiseola.
And the other team
Jesus Christ
doubles you up in shots on. It was like 8-4 in shots on target.
I think he probably had a meeting with the Dildo brothers prior to this game, and that just, derailed his whole game plan. I don't know. West Ham's a weird one this season, because they sometimes come out super defensive and counterattacking.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes come out on the front foot. Neither way actually gets them goals on a regular basis.
Right.
There's just a strange group of players.
I don't know if Moyes knows how to work all the
season.
Pieces. I don't know if Moyes knows how to work all the pieces he has. I'm just not sure if he knows. I think Moyes has been so used to what it was he had like in Everton, where it was just like, literally, I've got 11 guys who can play, and there's like 2 I could possibly sub in, and if someone gets hurt, which will inevitably do, some youth kid will fucking get it done for me, right? And
I feel like he tries to
pieces. He's got a ton of pieces now.
I feel like he tries to coach like Skamaka, but then gets distracted by his tattoos because he's old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, mate, I really need you to do all this kind of stuff. Is that a penis? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the fuck? Is that a nautical star? Like, what are you on about? You know what I mean? Like, I think he just gets distracted. I don't know. It's such a weird group, and they should be doing better than they are, but for some reason, they're not clicking this season.
Well, we've talked about with Saints. Now, Saints were in their building, right? And they're going to play well in their building, right? So you get away with the point, it's fine, but if ultimately the goal for West Ham is to get back to Europe again, because the amount of money you just spent,
you need to be back in
Europe again. Or there needs to be success in Europe, which so far there is. In their defense, there's success in the McRib Cup right now. They're already advanced.
Well, I think they're focusing on that again. I think they're doing that again. But now Moyes, they brought in, Smokey pointed out to us, they brought in, 6 players?
Yeah.
They've only used 3 of them?
He's starting to use them. He's starting to use them now, but they're not. They just...
For me, also, Skamaka should have scored a game winner in this and didn't.
I do agree. Yes.
Smokey says that they need a right back. Kufal is not the same.
Yeah.
Kufal's not the same injury. Downs needs to start over Suchek, and Benny, Pack, and Sumacha are starting to gel.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. This game wasn't exactly a barn burner for me, and I don't really expect that from a Moyes side, but you are better than Southampton.
And
on paper,
and you need to win.
are better than Southampton.
And also
you should be winning this game.
And from the start of the season that you've had, which has been very slow, this was the opportunity to really kind of dig yourself out of the hole.
And Declan Rice decided to do that.
Right.
That was excellent. Using the defender as almost a blocking mechanism for a shot. Mm-hmm. And an excellent take it was. What a great 1-2 we had. And you could see it from a mile away, and Southampton couldn't deal with it. Southampton also gave away another lead. I'd be very worried for them.
Well, we've already had that discussion. I think we both are.
I don't know what is going on with Hasenhüttl that he can't hold on to a lead. What is wrong with that team?
They're young, and they're not as good as you think they are. They just really
I don't
aren't.
think they're very good, and they still fucking do things that I don't like.
Yeah, I think we'll be impressed there. You're going to need your paper to write down your loser.
All right.
With a couple losers, because I have a couple losers as well.
Good.
I haven't had a couple losers in a while.
2 weeks.
You know what you're going to be excited about? Round number.
Sure money.
All right. This is Sure Money. This is the segment in which we give you our bets to make sure that you, are up to speed and aware of what we're doing as responsible, good gamblers to help better inform you to make your selections. Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
It's very fair.
And the asterisk to that, much like Barry Bonds' home run record, I know that gets under Sam's skin. The asterisk to that is if you can't sense the sarcasm in that, you're a fucking idiot.
Well, I think Aaron Judge said it best when everybody asked him about hitting 62 home runs. He goes, "It's great. The home run record's from is Barry Bonds. Thank you."
Yeah. Well, the single season is Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, isn't it?
No, Barry Bonds, 73.
73. That's right. It's when he was stabbing himself in the taint with a needle.
Doesn't matter. I wrote, fuck you, Liverpool, because that's pretty simple.
Oh, how predictable.
Well,
You got.
Well, just needed City to fucking win. It's not that fucking hard. So City fucked me on my parlay, and I missed. So I am now down $168.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
25% of the time, Sam. It works 100% of the time. That's right. Spot on. 25%.
Fuck you.
Quarter of the time it works. How many times does it work for you? Big, fat, whopping 0. 0.
Okay.
Never fucking works for you.
Also a round number.
Because you suck at betting. All right. For the midweek, Everton to draw at Newcastle for plus 290. Nice and easy. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I see an ugly
At
1-1.
Newcastle.
I see an ugly 1-1.
Interesting.
Beat him at Newcastle last year.
Okay.
Down a man.
Not this year.
Down a man. A Wobie in his brilliance. A Wobinho. Gorgeous goal.
Is that what you're calling him now?
That's what we're calling him now.
All right. That's an interesting choice.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend, Pat's Pick of the Week.
Now we have our friend that makes me worried that we're going to one day get called up on his debts. Pat, how are you doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, not bad. How'd you do this week?
Lost same with Sam. Liverpool fucked us. That's great. And hey, how was Philly? The city of brotherly hate.
I had a great time. Went to Reading Terminal, got my Denix roasted pork with broccoli rabe, and I was a happy boy.
You didn't go to Pat?
Fuck no. Roasted pork every time.
Fuck.
Okay.
Everybody wants to go get a cheesesteak in Philly. Roast. You get a roasted pork. That
What you
is
need
the
to
fucking
do
sandwich
is
you get.
both.
If I'm,
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
if I'm going to have 2 meals, then I will consider a cheesesteak. But
I will consider a cheesesteak.
My first meal will always be, whenever I am in Philly, hell, if I'm in Wilmington and have the ability to drive over to Philly, will be Tommy DeNix roasted pork with the sharp provolone and broccoli rabe, little bit of fresh horseradish on it. Maybe when I'm feeling a little saucy, add a nice spicy long pepper to it. But it will be that every fucking time. It is the best sandwich in the world.
If you keep this up, I'll give you a spicy long pepper, you cunt.
I feel
Hot
like
take.
I hit a nerve.
Hot take. Cheesesteaks taste good in every city.
Oh.
Hot take. I've had better cheesesteaks outside of Philly.
Also hot take. I don't like fucking Cheese Whiz.
Nope.
I don't know why y'all are so excited about that
We
shit.
don't. We don't. Provolone is just as good.
I'm a
Provolone's better.
I'm a wit whiz add sweets. That's definitely I'm a wit whiz add sweets. No doubt about it.
I don't understand a word you just said. I know what it is. It's a
for
joke.
The cheese.
I get it.
And try to order a cheesesteak in fucking Philly and not know what you're doing. They're just gonna scream at you. They'll be like, "You're like, what the fuck you doing? You need to order a fucking cheesesteak. Order a fucking cheesesteak. What do you want on it?" And
Yeah.
They'll just scream at you.
Well, they
until
don't
you
know
either
me.
cry, leave, or order it correctly.
Or rip out the fucking register and throw it at him.
Christian says provolone, FTW.
What? For the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Smart lad. Very Fulhamish of you, by the way.
Go ahead.
All right, Patty, what you got this week, my friend?
All right. Well, I am down $2 less than Sam. I'm minus 170. So this week I'm going to take a 2-game parlay in the midweek and then a 2-game parlay for the weekend. I'm going to take Tottenham over Man U at plus 180 and Aston Villa at plus 145. That will pay $5.85 on a $100 bet. Okay. And for the weekend, I am going to, and I know you guys hate this, I'm going to take 2 heavy favorites. But what I'm going to do to put some pressure on it, I'm going to put an enormous amount of money on it.
Okay.
So for the weekend, I'm going to put $500 on Manchester City over Brighton at minus 530 and Liverpool over Nottingham at minus 440. That will pay $230.
No, it is Nottingham. They play West Ham in the midweek. My apologies for stomping on you there.
Okay. Yeah, so Nottingham at minus 440. That pays $230 on a $500 bet.
Risking.
So I guarantee right now one of those games will draw.
You're definitely losing the 500. That's definitely happening.
Yeah, at 100%.
So that's
buddy.
all I got.
You got anything else there, my friend?
Oh, no. Well, no. Just looking forward to sleep. I mean, I was looking forward to the game tonight, but I guess it's just going to get rained out or they're going to play it at 11 o'clock at night tonight. So whatever.
I asked him if he had anything else, and he said, "I'm looking forward to sleep." Now I understand why you said don't let him riff.
Yeah, just let him stick to the script, man. He's really good at the script.
Hey, I went duck hunting at 4. I was in the middle of a woods at 5 o'clock this morning, waiting for ducks to get up.
So there we go.
Okay.
Hey, I shot them.
Well done. All right, brother. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
Duck hunting.
It's so funny.
Oh,
all right. So
gold. The boy is fucking gold. I love having him do the betting segment every week.
Jesus Christ. All right, so I lost, obviously, down 900 now, I think it is. Is that right?
Feed the cup of losers.
So my cup of losers says, I need an EpiPen. The bees got me again.
Oh, the bees got you
starting to become allergic with the way they're stinging me. So this week, I've got something else. Midweek, because we're going to do our weekend betting on Thursday. Also, by the way, programming note, bonus show on Friday.
Yep, bonus show Friday because there's
midweek games we have to record on Thursday evening.
Yep.
Won't be a live stream though, correct, Mel?
It's up to you guys.
All right. It depends. Let's see, because normally when we try to do the live stream with the Zoom, it kind of gets all fucked up because he won't be in studio for it.
No, I won't be here. I'll be at home.
You can sign into the room from anywhere. We just never done it on a Thursday.
We've done it on other occasions.
And
like
can't hear the sound drops.
And he can't hear anything.
Oh, that's his fault.
Okay.
Anyway, I also kind of like when we don't stream it because I do the show in the nude when I do it from home.
It's always awkward when we're watching on Zoom, though.
Hey.
Especially when we talk about Arsenal and I got that rager.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Like Kevin Garnett always says, tastefully done.
That's right. All right, so my bet this week to drag myself out of the doldrums. Easy peasy. Brighton over Forest, Leeds over Leicester, Palace over Wolves in the midweek, plus 822.
There we go.
So that would leave me minus $78.
All right.
Should I win this bet? I tried to go off the beaten path a bit, choose some things that were a little obscure that would give me some odds. And that's what I came up with.
I might hit the book on tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Well, Tuesday morning, I may swing by the book. Just a lot of really interesting odds. And
there were a few that I saw as well. I'm with you.
And just throw some like $5 parlays on win with a anytime goal scorer kind of thing.
Yeah,
where
fair.
I could see like $5 paying like $60-$70 on some, throw down a quick 25 on a handful of just let's see what happens kind of proposition bets. I think there's some money to win this week.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you.
You know who always wins?
The chicken.
The fucking chicken.
Well, Kitty missed as West Ham drew, and she sits at 5-4. So this week I gave Kitty Brighton welcoming Nottingham Forest. Kitty pulled out an original pressing, because she's got a record player up there. Mm-hmm. An original pressing of You've Come a Long Way, Baby, personally signed by Fatboy Slim with a note that said, quote, Kitty, consider yourself a personal guest of mine whenever you're in Brighton. So not only is Norman Cook a world-famous DJ, he's a Brighton local and also loves the Seagulls. So Kitty is clearly picking Brighton for the win.
I got to work on my read. She got that one in like one take.
I kept
Yeah, that was
looking
spot
for
on.
the
And that was
hang-ups.
Fatboy Slim. That
Fatboy Slim.
is a Brighton supporter.
He's a Brighton supporter.
Apparently,
Yeah.
according
Okay.
to Kitty. And Kitty's never wrong.
All right, well, coming up here in my closing words, I hope he wasn't one of the ones that was being a dicky-do.
Ooh, very
I
true.
hope not. Do you know what else are dicky doos?
What?
People that don't remember to gamble legally and responsibly.
Wait.
Get my way downtown, walking fast.
That still fits.
Seagull, go fuck yourself.
Always good to hear it.
Championship corner.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh no!
Sam, I tried to get myself in a walkway opportunity where I could possibly stop one Miss Rebecca Lowe. And if I was able to stop her, I was going to ask if she would do a sound drop. And the sound drop would have been, this is Rebecca Lowe. Oh no, producer Mel. Oh no. You're listening to the DU football show.
Yeah, that would have been great.
I tried there's other people I could have gotten, but I kept trying to get to where I thought Rebecca would be walking through, and just too much security. Wasn't able to get in a moment.
You know, for the right amount of money, if I ever do see Rebecca Lowe, I will walk up to her and go, "Oh, Becky, everybody says I do the best impression of you. Listen, oh no!"
All right, Mr. Graham.
All right, sorry. I just got a little update here quickly from hold on. This is actually quite nice.
I've already read it.
Did you?
Yes.
This was one of the parents. Sam, thanks again for coaching and leading the team. I'm supportive of the speech you gave after the game and welcome more efforts to really push the kids. All the best, parent.
Nice.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And for more of that story,
Patreon.com/DU football show. Just listen to sound check.
off the chart on the enthusiasm meter.
Fucking beautiful. Anyway, all right. In the championship this weekend, Luton beat QPR 3-1 in a little bit of an unexpected result. Rotherham over Huddersfield 2-1, which has playoff implications. Well, I mean, this early in the season. Come on.
Still 557,000 games left to be played.
Exactly. Burnley 4-0 over Swansea. Go fuck yourself. I'm Burnley.
Heard.
It's a big, meaty Belgian forehead in charge of that team, of course. Coventry 1-0 over Cardiff. Blackburn saying fuck you to Middlesbrough 2-1. Stoke 2-0 over Preston. West Brom. Steve Bruce-less West Brom. 2-0 over Reading. So things have already taken a positive turn following Steve Bruce's departure. Over the weekend, Sheffield United 3-3 with Blackpool. Sunderland 2-1 over Wigan, picking up another win. And Watford 2-1 over Norwich City. On Sunday, you had Birmingham, the only game, 2-0 over Hull. That leaves you with a championship table that looks like this. Burnley and Sheffield United traded places on 25 points. Burnley now +1 goal differential over Sheffield at +12. Sheffield United's at +11. Then you drop down to Norwich in third on 24 points with a +6. QPR in fourth with a +4, also on 24 points. Blackburn, again, on 24 points with a +1. Reading somehow staying in the hunt in sixth place on 22 points with a -5 goal differential.
Oh, shit.
Had to have a heavy loss. Kind of like that Bournemouth syndrome. That 9-0 to Liverpool is the outlier result, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, you thought that with Southampton at the time, but then they did it again. Kenny. Again. Kenny, it happened twice. Luton in seventh on 21.
And the streak continues.
Same as Swansea in eighth on 21 as well. Sunderland in ninth on 20, as is Watford, as is Millwall, and then Birmingham down in 12th on 19 points. You get under the relegation zone. You got Coventry, again, only their second win of the season. They're on 10 points. Huddersfield in 23rd on 11. Middlesbrough in 22nd on 13 points. You have Hull just outside the relegation zone on 14 points with a minus 15 goal differential. The bottom three clubs, -5, -5, -5. That could prove to be troublesome.
Could be troublesome.
For Hull come the end of the season. West Brom in 20th. Things are looking up. The only one of only three teams in the bottom half of the table that has a positive goal differential with a +1 on 14 points, though, in 20th place.
Not good.
And that is, ladies and gentlemen, your championship roundup.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, boys and girls. And as the battery on my phone winds down, Mr. Graham, got to just say, it's time for you to have parting words. And I'm going to move out of the way so that a certain someone gets the primary camera shot here.
Gets the attention. So, Brighton fans, Fatboy Slim being the president of that club, apparently, were rude, quite rude, cunty, some might say, towards Ivan Toney at the weekend following their game, tweeting him racist abuse because of his performance against their club. And that is strange because Brighton are normally Fulhamish,
Yeah.
if you will.
Fairly progressive city as well.
Polite, progressive. The actual, if I don't have this right, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure the main Pride Parade in England
They do.
happens in Brighton, not London.
It does.
They are supposed to be a pretty quote-unquote woke city.
When we hear Burnley be racist against Wolf Zaha, we're like,
Not exactly surprising.
kind of, yeah, that's on form. We expect that. We don't like it, but we're not surprised by it.
Yeah,
Fucking Brighton supporters.
don't get it wrong. Still not good, still cunts. However, Brighton has a reputation of being progressive, of being, I don't even like saying progressive because it's ridiculous. It should just be the normal, to not be a racist twat. But they chose the other way this time, and that should be called out, should be talked about, and should be condemned. And we do here at the show, of course, as always, condemn those things. And we look forward to an improved behavior from the South Coast City next time out.
D-back. It's very simple. D-back. It's not hard.
Nope.
It's very easy. Very easy lesson. Very easy way
It is.
to live one's life. It's really not that hard. Just don't be one. Be a nice human being. Wake up in the morning and go, you know what, today I'm not going to be one. I'm going to be a good person.
Well, you know what? Usually, if you wake up with the express purpose of not being
Yeah.
a cuntbag, usually, just in general, things turn out well for you.
Yeah, they normally do.
In my experience, that's how it goes. In your experience, I know we've talked about this many times, that's how it goes.
Goes very well.
If you just try to not suck, then things are good.
It's not hard. It's not
in
hard.
general. You might not make you rich, but things are okay
Yeah.
if you're just not a dicky-do. So don't do that again, Brighton.
Thanks so much for joining us, everybody.
You cunts.
Next up is Injury Time, where we're going to check in on our adopted clubs, talk about the fantasy leagues that we are in, review the beers we've been drinking, and preview the midweek's action. Should somebody want to find Injury Time, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
For the last time, if you haven't figured it out yet, it's patreon.com/DU Football Show. Sign up to that one big, beautiful, non-racist $5 tier, and you can hear all of our things extra on the show, which is Injury Time, of course, our preview show, as Sam just said, and Sound Check, which is our actual sound check. And you can get the rest of me being called in front of the FA, the local FA, the very local FA.
Producer Melanie, parting words from the gallery.
Christian said, Blythe supporter John the Toaster shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Should have
From
actually,
Wrexham.
yeah, we should do that. Guy wears a toaster to the games on his head, takes it off, plugs it in, toasts people's pasties. Good on him.
He wears a working toaster on his head.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go.
That's the National League for you, Mel.
I got nothing else to
It's
add.
the
I
National
like
League.
him. Gotta be annoying for the guy sitting behind him. if I must say.
Quite annoying. Quite annoying.
Christian follows it up with a yay.
Till Thursday, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. They mentioned John the Toaster.
Yay.
Bye.
Good night.